Dancing Princesses. There once was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. The 12 princesses slept in 12 beds, and each morning greeted the king 12 times. "Morning, Daddy. Morning, Dad. Morning, Father. Morning."
Yes, that's enough now, thank you.
But the strange thing was, every morning the princesses' 12 pairs of shoes were found worn through, as if they had been out dancing all night. Yet their bedroom was always locked up tight, and no sounds of dancing were ever heard from within. It was a mystery, and the king was determined to get to the bottom of it.
Let it be known that whoever discovers the secret can choose one of my daughters for his wife.
But there was a downside.
And anyone who tries and fails, well, it's off with their head, of course.
Immediately a brash young prince came forward, certain he could solve the puzzle. "A mere piece of cake, sire." The prince was put into a room adjoining the princess's bedroom, where he could hear everything that went on. But before long, he fell into a deep sleep. Next morning, the princess's shoes were found full of holes again, and the prince found that the king kept his promises, even the unpleasant ones. Several other princes came forward to face the challenge, but they too lost their heads. Soon nobody was willing to take the risk, and the king wondered if the mystery would ever be unravelled. Now it just so happened that a soldier was travelling through the kingdom when he met an old woman who asked where he was going. "To the palace, my lady, to try my luck at solving this puzzle." "Then be sure not to drink any wine the princesses bring you, and pretend to fall asleep." The old woman handed the soldier a cloak. "Here, put this on when you follow the princesses." The soldier thanked her, but the woman had already vanished. That night, when the soldier took his place outside the royal bedroom, the eldest princess brought him some wine. "How kind, ma'am." The soldier pretended to drink, but not a drop passed his lips. At once the princesses jumped out of their beds and began putting on fine clothes and new shoes. But the youngest princess felt uneasy. "Something is wrong, I'm sure of it." The eldest comforted her. What could be wrong? He drank the potion, so he'll be asleep till morning. She clapped her hands, and a trapdoor under her bed opened. Through one eye, the soldier saw the princesses disappearing down a staircase. Swiftly he threw on the cloak and became invisible. Then he followed the princesses. Halfway down the staircase, the soldier trod on the youngest princess's dress. "Ah! Someone pulled my gown!" "Don't be silly," said the eldest. "It just caught on a nail." They came out into a glittering grove of trees with leaves made of silver, gold and diamonds. The soldier couldn't resist breaking off a twig. "Didn't you hear that?" "Don't worry, it was just our princes calling us to hurry." They reached a lake where 12 little boats waited, a handsome prince in each one. The princesses stepped into the boats, and the soldier got in with the youngest. As they rowed across the water, the prince struggled with the extra load. "Have you been eating more pudding than normal?" "Certainly not. What a fine way to start the evening." Across the lake was a magnificent castle filled with light and music. Here the 12 princesses danced the night away merrily with their 12 princes, and being invisible, the soldier danced right alongside them. They danced and danced until the princess's shoes were worn through, and it was time to return home. When they arrived back at the staircase to the palace, the soldier ran ahead. As the princesses came up into their bedroom, they could hear him in the room next door, snoring peacefully. So they collapsed onto their beds and went to sleep. The next day, the king summoned the soldier.
Well, what's the secret? Or are you a sleepyhead like the rest?
The soldier told the king everything he had seen and showed him the glittering twig as proof. The 12 princesses were shocked, but had to admit that every word was true. And so the soldier married the eldest princess that very day. And from that time on, she only wore out her dancing shoes when she danced with him.